spend half of our day looking at Christmas trees? Yes, we did. Did we go ahead and commit to a 4th Christmas tree? Yes.
4 trees!
4 trees! 4 Christmases! But seriously, this is the last one that we're probably going to... Okay, this is the last one that we're going to buy to try out.
Is it 4 treason's greetings from you?
Yes, it's 4 treason's greetings, as my husband says. And we're going to be talking about each one of these. We do have 4. I was going to get a 5th one from Sam's Club, but I'm going to be totally frank with you guys. I'm going to share a video of it in just a little bit, but it is just... It's a different beast than these altogether. It just wouldn't make sense to compare it to these ones. That's me being totally honest. Go one by one and talk about the lights that are on these, starting with the My Texas house tree. So this is the grand spruce from them, and they are all, just so you know, these are all 7.5-foot trees. The lighting that is on here is a warm white, and at first I actually thought it was the warmest, at least out of the 3 that I previously had, but now having all 4 of these, it is not the warmest. Moving on to this is the Grand Duchess. This is from Home Depot. Just in case I didn't say it, that's from Walmart. This is from Home Depot. This is the viral TikTok tree that everybody probably originally saw and was inspired by, and I personally just always thought this was it. This is the one for me. I will give you my thoughts at the end on that, but she is beautiful. She's definitely on the coolest white side of all of these. The twinkle is really nice, but I will say this, I will not be keeping it alone because even at the dimmed level of twinkling, it is way too bright. Like, it literally is like having floodlights directly in your face, miserable, almost blinding at night. Alright, this one right here is from Costco. I was making sure there wasn't like a name for it. It really is just the Costco tree, and this is definitely the warmest of the whites. Just so you guys know, each one of these has a remote, but as far as coloration, I don't know if it's actually, I'm going to turn off all the lights here in a minute, but I don't know if it's the lights making it look like a different type of green, like a kind of more yellowy green, but it could be. All right, moving on to this one. This is the New Kensington. This is from Lowe's, and I love this. I feel like it is just the right color of white. It could be a little bit warmer, I suppose, but when it's on its own at night, to me, it is just like a shining jewel. She's beauty, she's grace, she's everything in between. This is all of their color twinkle modes. Now, this one right here does not have it, but we're not there yet. So, let's start at the very top. This one right here is the My Texas house, and this is undoubtedly the best color twinkle I have ever seen, even just if it was a steady color. It reminds me of being a kid. I want to totally re-embrace that time period in my life. It was the best. I just don't think you can get any better color-wise. This one right here is the Grand Duchess, and she does not have any kind of twinkle mode on the color settings, but this is what it looks like. Moving on to this one, this is the Costco tree, and to me, it's actually almost identical, even though it looks a little bit brighter. It's identical to the coloring that is on the Grand Duchess. I mean, wouldn't you think so, 2D?
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely agrees. I'm speaking for you. You definitely agree.
No, I definitely agree.
He's not under duress at all, you guys. But again, these are both in the very cool tones. I don't think they have a lot of warmth to like round them out. I would say between the two, the Costco one maybe has slightly more warmth than the Grand Duchess. But this one right here is the New Kensington, and this is the one from Lowe's. To me, I feel like this is the Goldilocks. It has a little bit of the cool, it has a bunch of the warm. It's not the exact same as the My Texas house, which is a heartbreak. But I'm telling you, as far as the other things that make a difference in how this tree performs, for me, it's just like, spoiler alert, this is my favorite tree. I am going to quickly show you little clusters on each one of them again. I did show you the My Texas already. This one is the Grand Duchess. This one is the Costco. This one's the New Kensington. Sorry, you guys. I've been looking at a lot of trees. This is what it looks like when all of the lights are off. Okay, so let's start at the very front. This one right here is the My Texas house, which again, I'm sorry, the lighting is not the best. It is nighttime here, but I wanted to show you what each of these look like with their lights off and then talk about the fill levels of them. This one to me is the most Charlie Brown Christmas looking one. And I know that sounds awful, and I love Charlie Brown Christmas, don't get me wrong, but if you're spending that much money on a tree, I feel like it should be way less fluffing. And maybe that's just because I'm high maintenance. High maintenance. There's a whole thing. Anyway, but I don't want to have to mess with that. I have dexterity issues. I have a very hard time, like, using my hands that way. It's just too difficult for me to do. And my husband would totally help me, but I'd like to be able to do some of this stuff on my own. But as far as my issues with it, I think that the problem is you can see a lot of the wires throughout it. The gapping is really bad. It is very hard to move these actual branches, but I will say that they are really nice. The ends of it look like this, and the inside is the bristles. And then all of these branches are wrapped to kind of look like wood. Sorry, I said that very strangely, but I do think it's a nice tree. It is $299. I will say the other thing is on these, the wires are very noticeable here as well. Moving on, this is the Grand Duchess, and originally when I first got it, I was so excited because to me the shape of this is very nice. I had to do no fluffing, not a one of these, except for that, has been fluffed. And I think it looks really good. I do think there is some actual cords and some spaces that I didn't notice originally. The color is really nice. It's like a really beautiful deep green. This kind of almost, I feel, has a little bit of like blue undertone to it. The tips on this are were my favorite. They were my favorite, but I'm going to come back to it. They are very nice. I almost feel like you've got a lot more here than on there. It's got the bristles on the inside. These are also wrapped like the other, but I do feel for the most part, the wires are far less noticeable here. Moving on to this one, this is from Costco, and I actually think that the tips on this are probably the nicest or the most similar to the Grand Duchess. They are very close. I would say if I could choose the bristles, I would choose the bristles of this tree, but unfortunately this is not the tree that I would pick. It also does have the bristles on the inside. I do think they did a really good job of not leaving a lot of extra space that you can see, but there are some strange places just upon putting it together. And some of the pieces were actually falling off already, which does not bode well. Now, this one right here is the New Kensington, and for me, I just feel like it is the best. I have done, like I said, no fluffing. I feel like everything looks beautiful from every angle. It is very filled in. There's not any gaping holes. Not the bristles, but the ends of these are very similar. I mean, really, all of these are very similar. And then I think the thing is that there's a lot more of this bristling, but it's well spread out. But it was so easy to put together and do nothing with, and it looked this good. So I feel like that's still my favorite, and it also looked great at the top. Let's talk about weight a little bit. All of these, except for the Costco, are like 40 pounds and under. The Costco is right around 86 pounds, which is very, very heavy. And on top of it, it is actually the most expensive. It actually comes in at $459.99. This one right here is $348. The Grand Duchess is $347, and the My Texas House is $299. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys quickly. This is what they all look like turned on with all the other lights off inside of the house, so you can kind of get a better idea of how warm they are. And very quickly, I'm going to show you each one of these one at a time with their lights. This is the New Kensington.
Technically it's used.
My husband was saying technically it's used. It is used now. Here is the Grand Duchess and its white twinkle. And this one right here is the Costco with the white light. Although it is very warm yet again. And this one right here is the My Texas House with its white twinkle. Sorry, you may hear my cat in the background. He's being very dramatic. Do you love the tree? Here's what they all look like with the lights off. And this is the color setting at night, which is, I'm sorry, I just think it's stunning. It is my absolute favorite. Okay, let me take that back. It is my most favorite overall. This is the Grand Duchess with the lights off, but there is no twinkle mode. This is the Costco tree with all the lights off in the colored twinkle mode. I don't know why I'm whispering now. And this is the My Texas House tree with all the lights off and in twinkle mode. They are glorious. I'm so sorry. This lighting is just phenomenal. It really is. I wish that the rest of the tree matched because I would never get rid of this. I would buy one of these trees for every single room in my house. But unfortunately, The rest of it, the quality is just not there. But with all of that being said, I really hope that this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, let me know. I'd be really curious to know if you guys have picked any of these up, if you've changed your mind on which ones you're picking up. Now that you've seen the Costco one, if now you're going to get that one, I would really love to know. But above all, thank you guys for hanging out on Tree Talk and being so friendly. Every person I've talked to on here has been nothing but nice.